He's strong enough, he's done it. It's
You ever hear the one about the baseball player who turned a dugout into a WWE ring? No, seriously. Picture this. It's a sunny afternoon. The crowd's buzzing, and suddenly, boom! Gloves are off, and Bryce Harper's throwing haymakers. Yep, that's right. The same Bryce Harper who's often seen as baseball's resident bad boy. Let's rewind a bit. It's 2015, and Harper's got a reputation that could make even the most jaded sportswriter raise an eyebrow. He's not just competitive, he's fiery, and sometimes that fire spills over. Like the time he had a very public, very heated altercation with Jonathan Papelbon. Yes, his own teammate. Papelbon grabbed Harper by the throat, and there it was. The perfect snapshot of Harper's controversial career. And let's not forget his ongoing feud with Hunter Strickland. Strickland beamed Harper with a fastball in 2017, sparking a benches-clearing brawl. Harper charged the mound like a bull seeing red, and the media lapped it up. Headlines screamed about his lack of respect and attitude problem. But here's the kicker. What if we've all been getting it wrong? What if the problem isn't Harper's passion, but our perception? Beneath the headlines and highlight reels, there's a different story. A story of a guy who's been groomed for greatness since he could barely hold a bat. A guy whose competitive drive has often been mistaken for arrogance. So let's dive deeper. Let's look beyond the fights and the fiery outbursts, because Bryce Harper might just be the most misunderstood player in baseball. Imagine this, a 16-year-old kid staring at the cover of Sports Illustrated, the headline blaring, "The Chosen One." It's not a scene from a sports drama, it's Bryce Harper's reality. But let's back up a bit to understand just how this kid became a national sensation. Bryce was born in 1992, and from the moment he could grip a bat, he was on a collision course with baseball history. By the time he was 3, Harper was already smacking balls around the backyard like a mini slugger. Fast forward to age 10, and he was hitting the road, playing up to 120 games a year. That's right, while other kids were mastering video games, Bryce was mastering his swing. Now, let's talk high school. When Harper hit the diamond, he didn't just play the game, he redefined it. By the end of his sophomore year, he was hitting .626 with 14 home runs. It was like watching a young Mozart compose symphonies, except in this case, the symphony was made of home runs and jaw-dropping plays. But let's be real, this wasn't just any high school career. When Harper made the cover of Sports Illustrated, it was like throwing gasoline on a bonfire. He was labeled the Chosen One, a prodigy whose every move was scrutinized under a magnifying glass. And here's the kicker. This attention wasn't all rainbows and butterflies. It put him on a pedestal so high that any misstep felt like a monumental fall from grace. So what's the deal? Harper was groomed for greatness from a young age. With his exceptional skills and intense dedication, he was practically built to dominate the game. But with such high expectations came enormous pressure. Pressure that would only amplify as he took his talents from high school to the big leagues. And as we'll see, this high-profile start set the stage for a career filled with both extraordinary achievements and the kind of criticism that can only come from being the center of attention. Imagine being 16 years old, standing at the crossroads of your life, and deciding to skip the rest of high school and dive headfirst into the collegiate baseball arena. That's exactly what Bryce Harper did, and boy did it stir the pot. Picture this, Harper, freshly minted from a cover spot on Sports Illustrated, decides that high school is no longer the stage for his talent. He's heading straight to college, a move that sparks a firestorm of criticism. The media went into overdrive questioning his decision. They said he was rushing to fame rather than securing a future. What's the rush? They asked. Why gamble with a young talent? Yet not everyone was throwing shade. Harper's high school coach saw the move as a stroke of genius. Nobody would pitch to him in high school anyway, he argued, practically championing Harper's bold leap. The decisions became a battleground of opinions, critics versus supporters, each side hurling their perspectives like fastballs. And let's not forget the pressure. With every headline and critical remark, Harper felt the weight of expectations. It was like being handed a loaded gun and told not to shoot yourself in the foot. But here's the kicker. Harper wasn't about to buckle under the strain. He was set to prove everyone wrong. Fast forward to college, where Harper wasn't just playing the game, he was rewriting the rulebook. He stepped onto the field like a man possessed, and the results spoke volumes. Imagine a batting average of .442 and 29 home runs in a single season. Numbers so staggering they made jaws drop. Harper's performance wasn't just impressive, It was otherworldly. He didn't just dominate, he obliterated the competition. And as the cherry on top, he earned the title of the top prospect in the entire country. It was like watching a young prodigy effortlessly hit every note in a symphony, each swing of the bat echoing his undeniable talent. By the end of the college season, Harper was no longer just a player, he was a phenomenon. It was no surprise when he was selected first overall in the 2010 MLB draft. His rise was meteoric, shifting from a controversial decision to a celebrated achievement. Let's rewind to 2011, a year when Bryce Harper's name was making waves that were, unfortunately, laced with turbulence. He was crushing it in Single-A and Double-A, the future looking bright. But then, Harper became the lightning rod for controversy, all thanks to a single, flamboyant gesture, blowing a kiss to a pitcher after hitting a home run. This wasn't just a cheeky celebration. It was like throwing a match into a powder keg. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Fans and media painted him as a brash, arrogant kid, an image that seemed to follow him like a shadow. Multiple ejections followed, each one a public spectacle, amplifying the criticism. Harper's behavior, marked by fiery outbursts and dramatic gestures, became the talk of the town. Yet the core of Harper's actions, his passion, was lost in translation. To many, it seemed like petulance, but to those who knew him, it was just raw emotion and fierce competitiveness. As Harper struggled to juggle his on-field intensity with public perception, it became clear that the media was only catching a fragment of his true self. Imagine this, you're watching Harper on the field, breaking bats and throwing helmets, and you think, this guy's a loose cannon. Now let's take a step back and consider another side of him. When the game's over and the stadium lights fade, Harper isn't the same guy. Off the field, he's known for his respectfulness and generosity. His coaches and teammates were quick to defend him, emphasizing that Harper's on-field demeanor was a manifestation of his deep-seated passion for the game, not a reflection of his character. He's just a 100-mile-per-hour guy who expects the best from himself, one coach noted. This was not about arrogance, but a relentless drive to win and perform at the highest level. Stories of his respectful behavior off the field further painted a different picture. Whether it was engaging with fans or supporting teammates, Harper's true nature was marked by humility and kindness. Yet the media's fixation on his on-field antics created a chasm between perception and reality. The big leagues beckoned in 2012, and Harper's MLB debut was anything but smooth. Picture this, the kid steps onto the field, and instead of cheers, he's greeted with a cacophony of boos. The spotlight was glaring, the scrutiny intense. Despite going 1 for 3 with a double, the jeers persisted, amplifying the pressure. His initial success didn't quell the storm of controversy. Early in his MLB career, Harper's fiery nature continued to stir the pot. Breaking bats and throwing helmets became regular features of his play, each act sparking debates about his sportsmanship and self-control. His manager, exasperated but understanding, commented, "He's a player who expects the best from himself. He needs to learn to channel that intensity." Despite these setbacks, Harper's talent was undeniable. Teammates and coaches alike acknowledged his brilliance, even if his approach sometimes seemed out of sync with conventional expectations. His journey through these early challenges underscored the stark contrast between his immense potential and the public's persistent skepticism. In the midst of an MLB season, Bryce Harper's name was making headlines, but not always for the right reasons. On the field, he was dazzling fans and critics alike with all-star selections in his first 2 seasons. His talent was undeniable, yet despite his achievements, he faced a peculiar challenge: being labeled as overrated. In 2014, Harper was voted the most overrated player by his peers, a title that seemed more like a snub than a genuine critique. The public perception was a paradox. Here was a player, brimming with skill and potential, yet struggling with a reputation that seemed stubbornly resistant to his actual performance. Harper's stats spoke volumes. He was performing at an elite level, but the noise around him often overshadowed his accomplishments. His raw power and potential were evident, but the skepticism and negative public perception persisted, creating a narrative that seemed as if it was written before the first pitch of his career. Enter 2015, a year when Bryce Harper didn't just turn heads, he twisted necks. Imagine a season where every swing of the bat felt like a hammer striking the nail of his critics' doubts. Harper hit 42 home runs, and his OPS soared over 1,100, making him the unanimous National League MVP. This wasn't just a breakout performance, it was a declaration. His 2015 season was a masterclass in power hitting and precision. Quotes from teammates and coaches highlighted this transformation. "He was on another level," said one. Another added, "We all knew he had it in him, but seeing him deliver like this was something else." This was Harper's chance to silence the doubters, and he did so with a season that was nothing short of spectacular. But just as things seemed to settle, the storm brewed again. The 2015 season wasn't just about accolades. It also included a high-profile confrontation with a teammate. The fight, sparked by a heated disagreement, fueled more speculation about Harper's temperament. 2 years later, the saga continued with a dramatic altercation with Hunter Strickland. The brawl was a flashpoint that drew widespread media attention. Public and media reactions were polarized. While some viewed it as a sign of Harper's competitive fire, others saw it as a flaw in his sportsmanship. These incidents highlighted a persistent narrative. Harper's intense on-field persona often overshadowed his actual performance and contributions. The public and media reactions were a mix of admiration and criticism, demonstrating how complex and multifaceted Harper's journey was. Despite the controversies, his talent remained undeniable, making him one of the most intriguing and misunderstood figures in baseball. It was the winter of 2019 when Bryce Harper made a seismic shift in his career, signing with the Philadelphia Phillies for a jaw-dropping $330 million. This was more than just a contract, it was a statement. Yet as Harper took to the field in his new uniform, the early days were fraught with struggles. The criticisms that had dogged him since his early days in MLB resurfaced. Despite the staggering investment, Harper was quickly labeled overrated once again. Yet if you looked closer, you'd see that this was more about expectations than reality. His teammates, seeing him day in and day out, began to speak out against these unfair judgments. "People don't understand how much he puts into this," one teammate said. "It's easy to misinterpret his passion as arrogance." Harper's journey with the Phillies was just beginning, and while the early struggles were real, they were only setting the stage for a deeper narrative of redemption and growth. Flash forward to 2019, and Harper started to show signs of evolution. It was the beginning of a pivotal shift in his career. His stats were solid, and more importantly, his reputation began to change. By 2021, Harper had captured his second MVP award, a testament to his refined approach and maturity. Quotes from teammates and sports writers began to reflect this shift. "Bryce is a different player now," noted one writer. "He's become a leader, both in performance and in spirit." Another teammate praised his evolution, stating, "He's more than just a talented player. He's become a cornerstone of this team." Harper's growth was undeniable, and his leadership was now a key component of his identity, both on and off the field. The 2022 season was where Harper truly began to redefine his legacy. Despite battling through injuries, he led the Phillies on a remarkable World Series run. His key home runs and clutch performances in the playoffs were a testament to his resilience and skill. In a dramatic turn, Harper underwent UCL surgery during this period, but made a remarkably swift recovery. His ability to overcome adversity and continue performing at a high level was nothing short of extraordinary. Quotes from his peers and media highlights emphasized this. "He's not just a player, he's a warrior," one analyst declared. His post-season heroics were not just about athletic prowess, but also about a personal journey of overcoming challenges and leading his team through adversity. Bryce Harper's time with the Phillies has been a complex tapestry of highs and lows, marked by personal growth and remarkable resilience. His story is not just about his achievements, but also about the misconceptions and challenges he has faced along the way. It was a crisp day in 2024 when Bryce Harper, now settled into his new role as the Phillies' first baseman, took to the field. His transition from the outfield to first base had been seamless, showcasing not just his versatility, but also his commitment to the team. Harper's performance had remained high, blending his unparalleled talent with a newfound maturity. In this current phase of his career, Harper's leadership is palpable. His approach to the game has evolved from raw passion to a measured, strategic brilliance. It's a testament to how a player can refine his skill set and mindset over time. "I've learned to embrace every role," Harper remarked in a recent interview. "Whether I'm hitting or playing first base, it's all about giving my best and leading by example." His transformation has been accompanied by a continued high performance. Harper's stats remain impressive, but it's his leadership that now shines even brighter. His influence extends beyond the numbers. It's seen in the way he interacts with younger players, mentors them, and shares his deep love for the game. Teammates and analysts alike recognize this. "Bryce's passion for baseball is infectious," one teammate said. "He's not just playing, he's teaching and inspiring us every day." Harper has also faced criticism throughout his career, but his recent remarks reflect a nuanced understanding of the media's portrayal. "I've always said, let the game speak for itself," Harper stated. "Criticism comes with the territory, but my love for baseball and my commitment to this team are what drive me." His ability to handle criticism with grace and continue to perform at a high level speaks volumes about his character and resilience. As we look back on Bryce Harper's journey, it's clear that his story is as intricate as it is inspiring. From his early days as a high school prodigy to his current role with the Phillies, Harper's career has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, triumphs and trials. Harper's misunderstood nature has often overshadowed his true qualities. His competitive spirit, which many see as brashness, is actually a reflection of his intense dedication to the game. His early controversies and public perception painted him as a divisive figure, but his journey has shown a different side. He's grown from a raw talent into a mature leader, driven by a profound love for baseball and a relentless drive to succeed. Throughout his career, Harper has faced numerous challenges, from controversies to injuries, but his passion and personal growth have remained constants. His story is a testament to how a player can evolve beyond public perception and become a cornerstone of their team. Encouraging fans to see beyond the media portrayal, it's essential to recognize the depth of Harper's character. He's not just a baseball player. He's a person who has navigated through the complexities of fame, criticism, and personal development. Harper's legacy is built not only on his athletic achievements, but also on his ability to rise above misconceptions and lead with integrity. In the end, Bryce Harper is more than the headlines suggest. He's a passionate, driven athlete who has continuously worked to improve himself and his game. His story is a reminder that understanding and appreciation often lie beyond the surface, and sometimes the most compelling narratives are those of growth and redemption. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Bryce Harper's journey, don't miss out on more compelling stories. Hit that subscribe button now. Join us for more insights and updates by subscribing to our channel.